First, let us see what you mean by aggregate functions, then we will discuss its types. Aggregate functions perform calculations on multiple rows of a single column of a table. So, if we are considering a table or a relation, the aggregate functions will perform operations on multiple rows of a particular column of that table, and it will return a single value as the result. It allows us to easily produce summarized data from our database. So, aggregate functions are used to get the summary data from the stored database. There are different types of aggregate functions. As per ISO standard, there are 5 different aggregate functions, namely count, sum, average, minimum value and the maximum value. In normal, all aggregate functions exclude nulls before working on the data. But if we want to get the null values also, we have to specify it in the aggregate function accordingly. Now we are going to discuss about the first function, that is count function. It will return the total number of values in the specified field. It works on both numeric as well as the non-numeric data types, and the count star is a special implementation of the count function, and it will return the count of all the rows in a specified table. So, count star is used to return the count of all the rows in a specified table. The total number will be available if we give the count star function. It also considers nulls and duplicate values. We will see it by an example. Consider a table student with 4 attributes: student ID, student name, student gender and student mark. Here we have only 4 records in this particular relation. Here we are applying the count star function. Count star function will result in 4, that is the total number of records in a particular relation. Or if we want to give some particular condition over count function, we can do like that. For example, we can select count of gender attribute from the student table, applying a condition that gender equal to female. So, we have 3 records with gender as female. So, it will generate 3 as the count. So, this is the use of count function. Next, we are going to study about sum function. This function will return the sum of all the values in a specified column. This function will work only on numeric fields, and null values are excluded from the result of this particular function. We will see it by an example. The same example is depicted here, and in this particular example, we have numeric values for SID as well as for student mark. Here we are finding out the total marks of the students using the sum function. Here it will generate 360 as the output as the total marks of 4 records. Next one is min function. Min function will generate the minimum value or the smallest value in the specified field. Here in this particular example, the student mark is the lowest for 103, that is student ID with 103 is having 86. So, that will be generated as the output of this min function. If we select min of student mark from student, it will generate the minimum mark of this particular column. Similarly, the max function is the opposite of the min function, and it will generate the largest or the maximum value from the specified field. Here in the student mark, we have the highest mark is for 102, student ID 102, that is 95. That will be the output of the max function. Select max of student mark from student will generate 95. So, this is the case of max function. Next one is average function. It will return the average of the values in a specified column. As like sum function, it will work on numeric data only, and it will generate the average values of a particular column. Here, for example, we can generate the average marks of all the students as 90. For example, we can select average of student mark from student, that will generate the average value. That is the sum divided by the total number of records. So these are the aggregate functions we have to study, and I hope you understand the concept very well.